love to the beat so slow. Making love to the beat, girl, it sounds so slow. I'm in fuck with a G, girl, you already know.
Yo, we back again. Word 'em up. Yo, son, we gonna take a little trip up to Maryland, feel me? Shout out to my sister, yo. You haven't heard lately, I drop a verse daily. I'm about to lay the rose petals for boxing first lady. Ask Cash, she not in it for a cash grab. She passionate when she speaking and make the crabs mad. Ashley's Corner got the news for the boxing heads. Whether you ball, rockin' waves, or you got the dreads. Cowboys bummy, nose runny, ain't nothing funny. These little dummies will sell their own mommy for insurance money. Tuning in on weekends, my favorite getaway. Giving you the boxing analogy every Saturday. Plus she got a hyperlink, so if you got a dime, spend some time and go to bonfire.com/store/love-in-sports, and you can lurk, hit the search, you could get a shirt. If you ain't learned by now, you never will. She got the clever skills where the sneakers are in high heels. All the cats boring now, they was boring then. There's no defeating her. Ashley's like a meteor, with knowledge like a thesaurus encyclopedia. Them other lame channels remedial, make me sleepier. I tried to warn you, if I say again, your ass are gone. Y'all informants, get the hell away from Ashley's Corner. You lose a leg if you step a toe past the border. You might say you on the block, but this is Ashley's Corner. Word 'em up. Ash Cash. We in the building, son. Judah Ben. Tell a friend, tell a friend, yo. You might say you on the block, but this is Ashley's Corner.
What's good? What is good to the fight fans? Salute, salute, salute to everybody that's going to be here today. Salute to everybody that's going to hit this playback. Hit that like button. We got some stuff to talk about today, okay? Yeah. Got some shit to talk about today. Last night, I was on Two Senses ladies only boxing channel, and it's ladies only night on Friday nights. I was on there for like an hour, but I said something. I just woke up. I was sleeping. I missed a lot, and I said something about Tank that I was wrong about. So I'm going to talk about it today, as well as everything else that's on the docket today. I will drop that link like always, and we can just talk about it. We can talk about it on this nice Saturday afternoon. Okay. Salute to all things is in the building. What is good with you, sir? AMC FSG is in the building. Mike Biggs Boxing is in the building. My daughter making mad noise in the kitchen. But it's okay. It's okay. Salute to you, Jarrell. What's popping with you? Salute. Salute. What is good with you? The family thing is in the house. I definitely appreciate you for coming through. Definitely appreciate you for coming through. But let's take it through it. I want to talk about Gary Antoine Russell and his fight with Andy Haracola. I want to talk about Bud versus Canelo, and because people talking about the rematch, I want to talk about. Matter of fact, I don't want to see a rematch, but we can talk about how I don't want to see a rematch and all the reasons why I don't want to see no damn rematch, because it don't really matter. You feel me? Oops. Hold on. The hell was that? Oh, okay. I want to talk about Taram Shakur and Tio. I want to talk about, of course, Tank and Jake Paul. What else? Carlos Adames, man, and Janabek. And I want to talk about Boots, of course. We could talk about Carlos. Let's start with Janabek. Let's start with Janabek. Okay, hold on. Why is this shit so big? Where did it go? Oh, okay. Janabek is trying to fight Carlos Adames. I did not know that he was trying to unify with Carlos Adames for quite some time now. And so it seems like Janabek might be the dog of the division. Still, I don't see none of them really calling out Lara. So there's really no dog because everybody ignores Cuz, for real. So, but Janabek and Carlos Adames both are saying that the fight is almost signed and done for them to fight each other. So we're going to get a unification fight at 160 pounds, and I'm down for it. Janabek already has the WBO and the IBF, which is that's why I put a picture up there, because those are the two titles he already has. And he wants to get a third, and he wants to get that up off of Carlos Adames. Now, they were saying that Carlos Adames was hesitant in taking a fight versus Janabek, and I kind of want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? And also they said Janabek he's saying, or I guess his team is saying, that they really want to entice Terrence Crawford into a fight. Okay. And because they know that he's going to be fighting at 160 pounds, they want to entice Terrence Crawford in for a fight, and they said it will be better if he has 3 titles instead of 2, of course, for Terrence Crawford to take a fight. Janabek's team thinks, however, that Terrence Crawford don't think that Carlos Adames is like a good fight or whatever, and that just goes to show that he don't really know the history in between Bud and Carlos Adames. But I think like I said in my last live, like, he don't need to fight, but if he's choosing to fight, and if he's choosing to fight at 160, one of the title holders is definitely going to be where he should be going, where he should be trying to fight. But being that he's coming down in weight, I don't know if there's going to be a tune-up involved. I don't think he needs one, for real, at 160 pounds. I think he can just go into fighting one of the champions. But again, Laura's out the loop. Laura ain't say nothing. Team didn't say nothing. Neither one of the fighters that already got a title didn't say nothing to Laura. It's like nobody want to say nothing about Laura, bro. But he got a title. Like, somebody got to see that man. I think he got a WBA, for real. Salute to you, Brian King B, in the building. What is good with you, sir? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. But Carlos Adames and Janabek, I think, is a very good fight. Like, I really haven't seen that much of Janabek. I'm not going to sleep on Janabek. I think he has 2 titles for a reason, even though he don't really have that many names on his resume. But they must be quality opponents for him to have 2 titles, and for him to be calling out Carlos Adames and Carlos Adames to be hesitant to take the fight in the first place. So I think since that fight, they said that the fight is almost done, I'm definitely on board and watching that shit. That is it could be a main event fight, for real. I don't even know who will win that fight, because I'm not gonna sleep on Janabek, because he's tall and he got some boxing ability. I honestly though, I favor Carlos Adames to win the fight, though. Real talk, just because, like, what I seen Carlos Adames, what he did versus Shiraz, even though they say Shiraz had an injury during that fight, regardless of the fact, Shiraz had a height advantage on him, and he was throwing a lot of combinations during that fight. At times, he was throwing combinations, even though he was fighting off the back foot. He had the reach advantage over Carlos Adames. And what I've seen in that fight is the head movement, the defense and transition, the offense to defense that Carlos Adames really has in his toolbox can give Janabek's tall ass a problem, just like he was giving Shiraz. So I'm really intrigued about that fight. I really like it. Hold on, shoot. Here I go again. Let me drop this jank. Before I forget. All right. I gotta take the phone and pin it. Hold on. I'm not even on YouTube on my phone.
Why settle for less?
I don't know why this joint do that. Phone be lunching. There we go. Jeez. Okay. Here we got. Okay. Carlos Adames also fought better names, in my opinion. I think he might have a slight better boxing ability than Janabek because I think he has better footwork. I think Janabek has okay defense and very good combinations when you want to put it together. And I think he hits hard. That's probably the biggest issue that people be having with him versus him in his fights. Salute to you, Emmanuel. What is good with you, sir? Peace and blessings to you, too. Wait. Yeah, but I want Lara to get in the mix. I'm just don't kind of perplexed about how nobody's calling out Lara's name. I mean, I think he's the oldest champion in boxing. I might be wrong, but he's the oldest man, literally. I think he's 42 or something like that, 45, 43, something like that. But he's the oldest champion. He's had that belt for a while now at 160 pounds, and he's been stopping everything at 160. Either, like what happened with Danny and his father stopped the fight, or him TKOing or straight up knocking dudes out. That's what he's been doing at 160. Salute to the queen is in the building. What is popping with you, Tay Tay? The real queen of MMA and combat talk is in the house. What is popping with you? I hope all is well with you, queen. I really do. I'm gonna call you tomorrow. Tonight, I'm gonna end up going to sleep when I get off of this show. I probably watch some foosball because this is Saturday. But I'm gonna go to sleep again, man. I've been so tired. But Canelo and Boots. I don't want to see a rematch. I don't think a rematch is needed. I think Crawford will end up beating him worse the second time around. If people want to see it, fine, but I don't even think Crawford's down to do it. Because, I mean, he didn't leave no hints to that after the fight. He was like, let's see what happened. The last thing I heard him say, not Bo Mack or nobody else, Terrence Crawford said that he was going to fight at 160. Who knows? It might move down to 160. That's what he said. So, I mean, maybe if they do want a rematch, if they do a rematch and Tyson with another paycheck or one bigger than that, I'm more than sure Crawford's going to say yes. But Canelo don't want no damn rematch with no Crawford. He don't. And I don't think Turkey is I think Turkey's the person that he signed with, that he has a contract with. I don't think Turkey wants that shit either. Turkey don't want to see it again. What happened. He should be smart enough to know it's going to happen again. I think he want to get Shiraz and one of his guys in there to fight Canelo. If he only has one fight left, he's going to make that ish count. You hear me? Because I really don't think that Canelo is going to keep fighting. I've been saying that I don't see. I mean, I was thinking that, Bud might retire after because there's nothing to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And all the fans of boxing, They feel the same way. It was like they be, saying that Terrence Crawford don't have to do nothing. He don't got to do nothing. That man wants to keep fighting. That's why I said before the fight even happened, like one of these fighters, it could be their last fight, not knowing that Canelo still had one fight, but still, like, I don't think Canelo's going to keep fighting after one more fight, and he definitely don't want it to be I don't think he want to, like, who wants their last fight to be a loss? And even though he got one fight left on Turkey or whatever, he could still have another fight, just to have a win. But who wants to really? This is Canelo now. You know what I mean? I understand how he took the loss, and I'm glad he took it like that, for real, because that's just, showing other fighters how to take a loss like it's not the end of the world. You know what I mean? But damn, I don't think he wants to even fight nobody of Terrence Crawford caliber. Why the hell would he even fight him again? I don't know why people are even making that a conversation. I don't see it. I don't think. Do y'all want to see it? Do y'all want to see that again? Still to Maximus Royalty was good with you. Definitely appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm good. I'll watch it again, no doubt. I'll watch it again, and I'll put money on not the knockout, but he'll beat Canelo even worse the second time around. Even worse. I don't think it's much of a conversation. But okay, Tank. Okay, hold on. I said yesterday that who said that Tank was going to retire, and it seemed like he said it last night. I just didn't know because I was sleeping. Now I'm gonna say this. Hold on. I'm gonna say this. He said he was going to retire in 8 weeks, responding to a fan. Okay. Did he say that any other time besides responding to a fan? That's really that's the only real question that I have. But I will believe that when I see it. If he does retire, good for him. You know what I mean? But seriously, this isn't the first time that a fighter said they was going to retire and they didn't retire. Especially the ones around Tank's weight class and age. For real. You got Teal, Shakur. They've all said they was going to retire. You feel me? So I'll believe it when I see it. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? And this won't be the first time that Tank has said something to throw people off during camp. Tank says a lot during camp. He's kind of a troll during camp. And he kind of admitted that. Like, the only time he really be on Twitter is the troll. The only time he be on Twitter is during training camps. So, I mean, y'all can believe it, but I'll believe it when I see it. I really believe it when I see it, and for real, I don't really know how much money he's getting for this fight. Everybody's been throwing out different numbers. I've been hearing 10, 20, 50, 100. I didn't heard 25. I didn't heard a lot. And it don't matter to me, but you talking about somebody that's leaving a lot on the table, you know what I mean? So if he retires, like, good for him, really. Like, the first time I believe he said this was a couple of months ago, and everybody talked about him retiring. Man, it's good for him. Like, for real. And I said this, like, the fans are really tough. They're really hard critics, and you don't know what none of these people do. I understand he's somebody that's in the limelight, or he's a star, or whatever the case may be. But damn, salute to you, 2 cents. What's good with you, Queen? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. But no, shit, hold on. My phone. But no, man, like, for real, y'all really have to put yourself in his shoes. And I can do that easily. I always can think about both sides of the coin. Salute to you, Teach. What is good with you? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. I always gonna look at both sides of the coin, and I can put myself in his shoes, man. And not everybody's the same. Some people have tough skin, and not everybody's the same, bro. Just not everybody can take as much as criticism as the next person, especially when they know they wanted different things and they just couldn't get it. Being that where Tank's from, I believe he had to get it how he lived. Hold up. I believe he had to get it how he lived, though. So, hold on. Okay. They weren't trying to control him. They wouldn't be so mad. Exactly. Like, it's just either just people just really need to enjoy the sport. Now, where that stopped and this ish started is when people started to have favorite fighters, and they were, in my opinion, they had to be. I just think a lot of people like freaking arguing. No bullshit. First of all, people just like arguing, and number two, I think people seen threats to their favorite fighters, and they wanted to start narratives like arguments. They wanted to start arguments. Like to some people, that's just how they rock. And Tank, people really don't know how he is for real, for real. Y'all see him as a fighter. Nobody really know what he's thinking or what's in his head. It's been a few times he's opened up and been vulnerable to the public and said things that we didn't even know how he felt about. Like other fighters haven't even did that and showed their vulnerability on that type of level that Tank already did. He really isn't. He's looking deeper into this shit. It's not surface level hating because somebody want to get their rep up. It's more than that to him. And so, y'all just got to put yourself in his shoes. Like if you really wanted to fight certain fighters and your promoter secretly was hating on you, because that's what a lot of people say Floyd was doing, secretly hating on you, but he, in the beginning, he gave you money, he gave you clothes, he gave you jewelry, he gave you a car, he gave you a place to stay, like, he gave you all of that shit, and you're like, you know what I'm saying? It's just different. Things happen outside of his career. He has children. He's just changed. He's a different person. Salute to you, Victor. What is good with you, sir? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. This is good. You just got to put yourself in his shoes, yo. Like, you can choose to get bullied or not. Like, I understand he'll always be a star, but he don't have to be in people's limelight. If he stopped fighting and stopped coming to fights, y'all wouldn't know shit. If he keep his nose clean, you wouldn't know nothing about him. Y'all be talking about him and he wouldn't even know. He wouldn't be paying attention to it. So if he wants to stop boxing, to clear out all the noise that's in his head, to be a kinder person because he said he got a bunch of daughters, so be it. Somebody had to push him to be like this. It's not just him. He got to be a product of some type of environment, right? But he changed, and this is his choice. If you was the same person and you was just tired of the BS and the people that everybody think you scared to fight somebody, but you the one with the power. You really did try to fight a bunch of people, but they trying to act like it didn't happen, and then the truth came out, and then the folks and fans still didn't care and still said this and still, like, come on. The biggest thing to me is when, man, fighters come out and tell the truth or get their business told, and fans don't even care. It's still fans out here saying that Tank's the reason why the Shakur fight didn't happen and all of this, and they just say stuff. They still say that to this day. Like, come on now. And he admitted that, they offered me a one fight deal to fight Tank, and I wanted more than one fight. And he's saying, well, it shouldn't have been the end of it. We should have negotiated. That's fine. But if he just admitted that, then how can people sit and just continue to gaslight? It's irritating. So if Tank want to take his millions and go to fuck home, then good. Good. And they used his honesty against him. Exactly. That's what bullies do. That's what a lot of people do. They gaslight and be assholes. Social disgraces, man. For real. Salute to you, Victor, in the super chat. Definitely appreciate you in the super chat.
This is for the cool.
Say, stay truthing and make real sense, sister. Salute to you, Victor. Definitely appreciate you in the super chat, King. But that's really all I mean, I ain't want to sit here and harp on that shit for a long time. But I didn't really realize that he said what he said because I was asleep last night. But if he retires, good for him. But I don't believe it until I see it. He said this shit before and kept fighting. Shakur said it, kept fighting. Teal said it, kept fighting. I mean, it is what it is. I'll believe it when I see it, though. For real. And it doesn't really matter. It don't matter to me, yo. For real. And people really say that, just because I'm a Tank fan don't mean life started when he started fighting or going to end when he lose. I don't give a damn. He's entertaining. And if you lying to me, if you say he's not, he's entertaining. I know people that don't even like this dude. After certain fights, they had to give it up. It is what it is. The man's entertaining. That's why I like him. I'm here to be a fan. I'm anchoring right now. I'm being a boxing analyst by talking about it because I have a channel. But other than that, bro, so Earl Spence lost. So it's not the end of the world. Salute to you, Cash Sports in the building. What is good with you? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. But yeah, I'll believe that retiring. I'll believe that when it happens. Just think about you creating something, creating a name for yourself, being so big that you in one night you can make millions of dollars. Okay, you might feel like you're going to quit until somebody offer you another fight. I'll believe it when I see it, really. And about Tank versus Jake Paul, I wanted to ask, man, how would the fight look? And what if Tank lose the fight? For real. If he lose the fight, it is some career suicide type shit. If he loses the fight. And it's being that this is a Jake Paul production, pretty much. Like, anything's possible when it goes the distance, because in my opinion, it's going to go the distance. I think Jake Paul's going to do enough to survive the fight, bro. He's not. I don't think it's going to go out like that. And I know they verbally said 10-ounce gloves, but it's still written in black and white on paper that they're weighing 12. So, I mean, especially if they got the pillows on their hands, it does benefit Jake Paul a lot, defensively and offensively. If his gloves were smaller, it'll be easier to dodge those punches than it is with a big ass pillow on your hand. Okay. And defensively, it's easier to block something with a pillow than something that's just as big as your hand. You feel me? So it all benefits Jake Paul, the bigger the gloves, all of that ish. I think the fight, in my opinion, though, Tank Davis has the ability to make Gervonta Davis has the ability to make Jake Paul look like he's nervous during the fight. I think he has the ability to make him look very uncomfortable during the fight and get outside the game plan and outside of what he's supposed to do during the fight. I think when Jake Paul gets hit, he might be a little surprised and he might fight a little different. And I think the same way about Tank Davis, but not necessarily, because I believe Tank Davis has took hard power shots. I'm not saying that he's took Jake Paul's power, but I don't believe Jake Paul is going to land on Tank Davis flush enough to actually, put all of his power on Tank Davis's chin. I just don't see that happening. But I know Tank Davis has sparred guys his size, and he's got hit by guys his size. When it comes to Jake Paul, from the people he sparred, from what I understand and what seems to be true is that nobody's going to damage the merchandise. I don't believe there's anybody that Jake Paul pays to spar that goes in there to knock his teeth in. I don't think so. I don't think there's nobody in that ring that he spars to knock his head off his shoulders. I think people are there to work with Jake Paul and for him to learn not to hurt him. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I think that it might be different as far as how they receive each other's punches. But I think Gervonta Davis can move around the ring and to show flashiness and quick enough explosive ability and some pop at the end of the punches to make Jake Paul look very uneasy during the fight, if you understand what I'm saying. But let's continue. Cause yeah, if he lose the fight, Tank gotta be taking this shit serious, and I know he is. You know what I'm saying? Because if he lose the fight, it's gonna look real bad, regardless of what people are saying that it's not gonna be on his real record or whatever. Shit, it's not gonna matter if it's gonna be on his record or not. Now, if this is that type of spectacle, like I said, regardless of what Tank do in the ring, he could still lose on the cards because it's Jake Paul's show. But people, because they hate Tank Davis, if Tank Davis whipped Jake Paul the whole 10 rounds, because I believe it's a 10-round fight, and they still give it to Jake Paul, they still going to hound Tank Davis. That's why, I mean, you can't win, so why care? That's why I don't care. But Gary Antoine Russell versus Andy Haracola. Andy Haracola is a good fight. I mean, he's a good fighter. He's a really good fighter. I think he works very good on the outside. I really don't think he's seen a fighter that's as quick with good foot movement and throws punches at the angles that Gary Antoine Russell does. I think this would be a very good fight. I think it's going to be a fire fight. But Andy Haracola comes forward. He beat Barossa. I believe that fight's on YouTube. You can see most of his fights are on YouTube. But he has a specific style. You know what I mean? Yeah, he can switch it up and he can calm it down and work behind the jab. You know what I mean? But he likes combinations. He likes getting his stuff off. He likes hurting his opponent. And the problem is he likes throwing punches regardless, you know, like he'll throw a combination. If he know one's still coming at him, he'll throw it anyway. And I think in between them punches, that's where Gary Antoine Russell is going to be very dangerous. In between Andy Haracola's punches. I think Gary Antoine Russell is good enough to stick to his boxing ability and pick off some shots in between rounds. But if Gary Antoine Russell come in this fight and be 100% himself, 100% a bully and come forward, I still believe he can beat Andy Haracola. I think, and Andy's a good fighter, bro. He's a good fighter, but I got Gary Russell beating him. Probably, he could stop him. He could stop it. It all depends on if Gary Antoine Russell come in there with a level head and a good game plan. For real, he could stop Andy. But I got him winning on a decision. Now, okay, I don't care. Well, I don't see T.O. and Shakur fight happening. I think it's a very good fight. I definitely would be down to watch that shit. It could be a main event for real. But I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening, and it's sad because I think both of those fighters need each other. Cash Sports say facts. Gary and Andy should be very good. I like that matchup a lot. They're gonna come forward. Both of them are come forward fighters, and that's what's gonna happen during that fight. Salute to you, Mike. Definitely appreciate you for coming through. I hope all is well with you. Oops. But where was I? Yeah, it's sad that Shakur. I don't see T.O. and Shakur happening, and I believe it's sad because I think they need each other. I think Shakur and T.O. need each other. I think out of the other fighters around it, Devin, Ryan, and Tank, they've all Devin fought Ryan fought Devin and Tank fought Ryan, Tank fought Rolly fought Ryan. Like Ryan fought everybody. You feel me? Shout out to Ryan fought everybody, but you know, To's yet to really fight anybody from the bunch, and Shakur too. So if they fight each other, it'll be great. But I just don't see it happening. Salute to you, Rick Timms, the third with his popping, which can definitely appreciate you for coming through. But I don't see it happening because To's just so, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't. I think it's gonna be. I think it's T.O., bro. I just think it feels to me if the fight don't happen, I think it's T.O.'s fault. I think it's something out of T.O.'s team or something. Is that? I mean, matter of fact, isn't T.O. signed with PBC? If T.O.'s signed with PBC, the fight actually might happen, yo. Is T.O. signed with PBC? If so, he really might fight Shakur Stevenson. Because PBC, if you sign a PBC, you gotta fight, bro. You gotta fight somebody good. And if you just sign a PBC, I can see that Shakur fight happening unless something happened on Shakur's end. I can really see that fight happening if T.O., you know what I'm saying, is signed a PBC. So shit, I kind of take that back. And I do think they need each other, though. I think they really do need each other. I think both of them really are big sellers. But after the fight, if they fight each other, that can change. It definitely can change. Salute to you, Bert Weezy. Definitely appreciate you in the super chat.
This is for the cool.
He said, I seen you on the panel with 2 cents last night. Salute. Definitely appreciate you. I was correcting myself too about because I did sleep a long time and I didn't know that Tink said all that stuff or whatever. And I corrected myself. But salute to you for checking out the channel. Definitely appreciate you for coming through. Say Shakur versus T.O. would be lovely. Winner versus Key. You know damn well that's not going to happen. You know, Shakur already said he's going to beat, and I couldn't believe he said that. And not enough people made videos and talked about it and went live about this conversation. Or maybe I really wasn't on YouTube that day or that week. Very possible. But he said that he was going to beat T.O. and then drop the belt for Key to get it. I was like, damn, just let Key have a fight. Shit. Just let Key fight him. Shoot, he was talking trash, I believe he was trying to fight T.O. anyway, right? He was on the stage talking ish, and then that blossomed to some other stuff. And then he actually wanted to fight T.O. And then he came out and was like, yo, he don't think T.O.'s going to fight him. That's crazy, bro. So he won't fight you, but he'll fight Shakur. I don't know. I just don't know about T.O. He's weird. He's different, you know? Terrell said Tank on another milestone for legacy, fighting a ranked heavyweight who should be ranked number 1. And these other guys have never even fought a true welterweight. Damn. Who should be ranked number 1, though? Who should be ranked number 1? I honestly, it depends on how this fight turned out. Tank hasn't really disappointed when it came to entertainment. He hasn't, in my opinion, he hasn't really disappointed. So, depending on how this fight turned out, you just have to ask yourself, if anybody else in that weight class fought Jake Paul, would it look the same way? Would you still be entertained the same just as much if someone else fought Jake Paul? I think Tank got a pair on him. I think he got a set. I think he has a pair. For him to be, you know, moving up and fighting Jake Paul anyway, even if it's easy or whatever, if that's the case, I mean, he's the one who's doing it. He's sticking his head out there regardless of what happens or who says what and do it. Other fighters around his weight class, they can say what they want about Jake Paul. You've never called him out to fight him, though, did you? I think even Bud wanted to fight him at some point in time. I think Ryan Garcia was face off and yelling in his face at some point in time. I think he's like the only one is Ryan. So, I don't know. I just I hope that fight happens. I really hope Shakur versus T.O. happens. I think to say it again, I think they need each other. I think we need that fight, honestly. I think T.O. needs to get knocked down a few pegs. I would love to see him lose again. Almost bought a Cambosa shirt after Cambosa's dropped To and beat him, yo. No bull, yeah. But I think Tio needs this. I think Tio needs a bona fide L. You feel me? I heard some people saying that Tio beats up Shakur. I don't really see that. I don't see it being an easy fight for Shakur. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but I think Tio, man, I think he's easily knocked off his square, meaning his mental. Like I don't think his mental's all there, and I think he can be frustrated in the ring quite easily. I remember when he fought Jermaine Ortiz, and Jermaine Ortiz wasn't doing much to frustrate Tio, but doing some lateral movement. And it wasn't absolutely constant movement. He was moving around the whole fight. I mean, every round he was moving around, but it wasn't constant. You feel me? Like he set at some point in times and threw punches, but moving around the ring ain't the problem. Like I said, that's the one thing that Turkey was right about. Us fans, we've already complained about one fighter not knowing how to cut off the ring. Moving around the ring ain't the problem. The fighter that don't know how to cut off the ring is what we don't like. That's the issue. Okay. And the issue with Tio is that Tio don't know how to cut off the ring. And in saying that, Shakur can use that to his advantage, So that's mostly what I see with that fight. Shakur and Tio need they butt whoop. both of them double knockout. It's funny. But Tio, man, Tio got them bad eyes. His eyes be swelling up and he got like bad tissue damage or something like that. Like I see Shakur winning that fight. I think Tio can put up a nice ass fight though. I think he put up a nice one, but I just don't think that he'll beat Shakur Stevenson. But I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. Whatever the outcome is, I'm here for it. Oh, we already talked about Gary. I think Gary beats him. Canelo. Should Canelo continue to fight? Do we have anything else to prove? I don't think Canelo should fight anymore. After this last contract, that man got buku dollars. All right, his money is ridiculous. Man, money's very long. Got 9 figures, probably more, in his bank account. Like, bro, he's been getting dumb checks for over a decade, and it's a lot of fights, a lot of money, a lot of spotlight, a lot of It seemed like he liked partying, golfing, drinking. So it's gonna be a time when he just want to be a father and a husband. So and nothing else, and don't have to fight all the time or whatever. He could do what he want though, in my opinion. Because of his name, he will forever be somebody that people want on their resume. He will forever be that until he's in his 40s like Laura. You feel me? So I mean, he can choose to be kind of a battering ram for these fans because they're not going to let up on the fact that he didn't fight David Benavidez. And every fighter that comes in a division or around the division, because he's moved up so much and made fighters move down, every fighter that's anybody is, going to be calling him out. And fans are going to be calling Canelo everything in the sun because he's not fighting them. Now, after we've seen this fight with Bud Crawford and we've seen his size in there with Bud Crawford and somebody that moved up, this is, of course, nothing bad about Terrence Crawford, but you can tell from the fight that he's pickings for people, bro. He's pickings. It's not really a lot of names right now that I can think of that Canelo gets in the ring and gets a victory and then retires. So, I believe that man got 1 or 2 fights, and then maybe that's it for real. Facts, actually, if they don't a fighter moving, cut off the ring, right, and stop the movement. But you know how boring it is, right? Like we always was like, man, he couldn't cut off the ring. It was irritating watching it. But we say maybe fight a bum if he wants to go out with a W, but you don't have to fight anyone. Yeah, I think he has 1 fight on his contract left. But that's what I'm saying. I don't think he should. I don't think it's a need for it. I don't think that man got nothing to prove. I think he should just work very hard to try to make his last fight a W. You feel me? But other than that, salute to Canelo. You feel me? I think that Canelo has one of the best resumes, if not the best resume, of an active boxer right now to date. So salute to him for doing that, and giving us knockout after knockout when he was knocking them out, and entertaining the fans when he could. But after seeing this fight with Terrence Crawford, I don't want to. I mean, he should not fight no damn David Benavidez, and that's what everybody was mad about, him fighting David. And you can see it from his last 3 fights that Canelo had, bro. And everybody knew it. That's why people was mad that Canelo didn't fight David. People know that David would hurt Canelo for real. Like the people that wanted to see Canelo bend it down on knee and knock down or knocked out, they knew David was probably the only person to give it to him. That's why they wanted to see it. But, Canelo, shout out to him for never getting dropped in his entire career. Shout out to him for being a true Leatherface, man. That man took some hellacious punches from a lot of different fighters, yo. He did a lot of sacrifice and he got a lot of money. I don't think he should. I don't think he needs to continue to fight. And I'm cool if he retires. Salute to Creole the Traveler in the building. What is popping with you, King? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. 2 counter punches, fainting at each other all night. You talk about Tio and Shakur, ain't you? Yeah, that's it, and that's another part of that conversation that we could talk about, man. Like, cause both of them don't mind fight. Well, Shakur don't mind fighting on the back foot, and Tio likes waiting to fight. That's why the Jermaine Ortiz fight was so dry. That's why that fight was so boring in between him and Tio's, because Tio just watched him move around the ring and throw some punches and try to move, get your head off the center line when the fight. Like, he wasn't really doing. It was no attacking. He didn't attack upstairs, downstairs, nothing. There was no attacking. He had no game plan. He just wanted to counter. And being that, if you really got some beef with Shakur, if Shakur really got some beef with Tio, neither one of them should be standing there staring at each other the whole fight. The first round, maybe the second. But after that, I'm going to want to see some hands being thrown. 3rd round on beyond. Bro, I'm going to give y'all 2 rounds to sit and stare at each other's movements and flinch at each other to see how people be moving. But after that, I'm trying to see that shit get going. And the way they be talking to each other, man, it's been years in the both of them. And you know what? When I think about it, a lot of people had respect for T.O., especially the fighters. The fighters made us have respect for the dude when we didn't even really know who the hell he was. They kept calling him Gordo and shit. Multiple fighters kept calling him that shit. Rolly was a friend of him and shit. Like, we didn't really know. It got to be something that makes you want to fight, dude, that we probably just don't know about. For real. And we all know T.O.'s dad be saying stuff. Who knows? But I'm not trying to see that shit either, 2 cents. I'm not trying to see that shit either. Canelo should do like Floyd did and find himself an Andre Bertha last. He did do something because he should leave with a W. I don't want to see him leave with no L. And he definitely shouldn't fight no damn Bud Crawford again. That shit is asinine. Salute to Cuzzo's in the building. What is popping? What you just do? Definitely appreciate you for coming through, Z. Don't Canelo still have one more fight with it? Yeah, that's what I was saying. He had one more fight. And that's what I thought Bud was his last fight, but I was told that he got one more. And if so, I really don't think that what's his name, Turkey wants another Canelo fight. He's going to try to get his boy Shiraz in there or somebody else. He's not going to. I don't even want to see it. You go beat him worse the second time, like I said. Like, nah, bro. Like, and he already said that who knows, I might move down to 160, but no, that Canelo don't want that damn rematch. The only person that this dude rematched was Triple G, right? Thrice. He fight Triple G 3 times. That's it. That's the only person he fought more than once, right? Am I tripping? He's athletic, but I don't know if she's in the right headspace. Teal, exactly. That's but yo, this is exactly. Well, I felt it more when he was about to fight Josh Taylor. I thought Teal was in the worst headspace ever. That's why I thought that Josh Taylor was going to beat him. Josh Taylor, even though Josh Taylor looked like he was a little off when he fought Jack Catterall, because I was thinking that Jack Catterall beat him in that fight. He dropped him and everything, I think. But damn, like when you look at it, it's like he was just sorry as hell. Salute to hold on, wait. Did you come in here? There you is. Salute to Victor in the building. What is popping with you? You here?
Salute, salute, sister. Salute, Ashley. How you doing, young lady?
I'm good. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, and I'm always doing good when you on live. You hear me?
Yeah.
Hey,
Salute
uh,
Cam J Network.
hey, Ashley, you gonna be here for a while?
I don't really know. I'm maybe another hour.
Oh, okay, okay. The only reason I asked is because I just wanted to say a little bit something. But if you were planning on getting out of here, then I was gonna save it for next time. But if you're gonna be here for a minute, I just want to say something.
Go ahead.
It might not be necessarily on topic, Ashley, but it's pertaining to boxing for sure. Um, I want to say something about this Tank and people who think that all these other fighters, because they want to, listen, they want Tank to fight everybody. Just listen to the logic. And by the way, Ashley, what I said in the chat about, no, the super chat about what I like about you and why I say I like the way you talk is because you talk like a thoughtful, intelligent adult. Boy, is that rare in this motherfucking community. Excuse my language. You know what I mean? You're reasonable, rational, sensible, and you make all kind of sense and logic. And that's what I like about you, Ashley. Now, everybody wants Tank to fight. Everybody. And the reason that they put behind it, now I'm going to tell you why. Let me start off by telling you why. Why is because Tank is the most prolific, effective, proficient, talented, skilled fighter in the game. So that's why everybody wants Tank to fight everybody, right? I don't never hear nobody saying nothing and going on and on and on about Shakur fighting and who he should fight, and Tiafimo fighting and who he should fight, and Haney and fighting and who he should fight. But they always are talking about Tank and who he should fight. And by the way, who he should not fight. Like he shouldn't have fought Frank Martin. Like he shouldn't have fought Roach, right? Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Just using one example. Tank has every skill available in boxing. You name it, if it's used in boxing, Tank has it. And it's pretty polished, and it's pretty prolific, and it's pretty proficient. And it's sure enough effective, right? Now, they think that your core, because he's got a couple titles, this is why I agree with Tank. I don't want to put anybody else in that mix that says belts don't matter, titles don't matter, spreadsheets and statistics don't matter, because them things don't get in the ring and fight. It's the men, physical specimen, human beings, men. That's what counts. And so Tank could get in the ring with somebody that's got 4 belts, somebody that's got multiplicity of titles, somebody that's been in 3 divisions. And if they get in the ring with Tank, Tank will beat them like they never had none of that. So it proves that all of that stuff don't mean nothing. I mean, you can take, for example, Devin Haney got I don't know how many. I think it was 3 belts, or was it two or 3 belts from guess who? Kambosos. So now that makes Haney this nigga, and he got that many belts, and he got that title because he fought Kambosos and beat him. And it took him 24 rounds to do it, right? So, well, it didn't take him 24 rounds to do it. He did it in the first fight, but he gave Kambosos the second fight at the Apple. But what I'm trying to get to is that people who know boxing, and I'm going to say something about this too, on that note, people who know boxing, they got these people that like this. I'm a hardcore boxing fan. You're just a casual. What's that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? I'm just a casual. Is that suggesting that I don't know boxing? Well, what I just said about in the ring, in that ring, hands on, shoulder to shoulder, body to body, person to person. I know about that part of boxing, and that's the main part. Because we can talk all day long about who's got a belt and who's got titles and how many championships they got, but if they ain't fighting it don't really mean nothing except for to sit up on a channel and say and yell about belts and titles and things of that nature. Don't you want to see somebody fight? All right. So anyway, but I don't just want to see 2 niggas fight. I got over that in elementary school. Just going to see 2 niggas fight. I got over that in elementary school. To go see 2, we used to get rewarded for coming straight home from school with desserts. You can go ahead and have some ice cream, or you can go ahead and have a piece of chocolate cake or whatever before dinner, because you came straight home from school. It's 3:30 in the afternoon or something like that. Dinner ain't till 6, whatever. So go ahead. But if you didn't come home, you would get reprimanded or maybe even get punished, depending on how late you got home. But I could have went and watched the fight and walked 2 or 3 blocks, you know what I mean, and found some empty parking lot and watched 2 knuckleheads fight, because they had fights in elementary school almost twice a week. It was a stupid thing to see. I got over that a long time ago. So I require, and I'll get to my point, I'll land right here. Boxing, like I said once before, is not entertainment for me, not merely entertainment. It is exciting, thrilling, and exuberating, or it should be. Now, some people who settle for just seeing people fight each other or 2 niggas hit each other, they settled for and said, and Billy and Martinez was a good fight. That's the junk that I'm talking about, that I'm referring to. That doesn't meet my standards. That doesn't meet my taste for boxing. That falls real short of, you can get that going to Toys R Us and get that Rock'em Sock'em toy machine out of there, take that home, put it on your living room table, and watch that shit all day long. You know what I mean? There was no skill. Now, boxing is a display of the art of skills. It's supposed to be an art form of a display of skills. That's what boxing, again, should be, a display of skills. And some people just don't have them. So you end up with an M. Billy and a Martinez, and then just because those guys stood shoulder to shoulder, face to face, chest to chest, and just punched on each other, that was supposed to be a good fight. It wasn't. It had no skill, no art form, no nothing. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that fact. Yeah.
Okay. And then last but not least, but thinking that a guy with one talent, I'm not sure. Well, maybe I'll give it to him. I'll say he has that one skill. He does have that one skill, because it is done somewhat in a form of art. And it looks good when he executes it with such perfection, which is core. And the ability not to get hit. That keen eye, that sharp eye, and that quick reflex. He said it himself. He said, I can see it coming. And I got quick reflexes, so that's why I'm able to get out of the way of it. All right. But other than that, Everything else is missing. He has no ring generalship because when he fought De Los Santos, De Los Santos got his ass up against that motherfucking ring, ropes, back up against the ropes, should I say. And he ducked up under that one punch that De Los Santos was trying to throw at him. And Shakur ran across the other side of the ring with his back turned against his opponent. Instead of doing that, what's his name, Sean Porter shit, and pivoting around and turning around on him and putting him, he didn't have that skill. He had to run from that nigga, get a lot of distance, and while he was running, he was looking behind him to make sure that nigga wasn't close to him. So that's running, right? And he did the same thing with Valdez too, at the last 12 seconds of the fight, and Valdez was running towards him. So he had to speed up and run faster and get over there by that referee and use that referee to shield him from Valdez. That's running. That's why he's labeled for running. But whatever the case may be, that one talent that I don't get hit. So we'll analyze right here and I'll land. So Shakur, because he doesn't get hit, because you can't hit him, he's going to win the fight. What about what he's got to do to win the fight? I suggest to you that if nobody can hit him, that will prevent him from getting beat or beat up or knocked out. But what about winning the fight? What's he going to do when it's time to win the fight? Now, if we talk about Tank, Tank walks people down. Tank lures people in. So what if he lets Shakur hit him a couple times to give Shakur confidence, right? To make Shakur think, hey, shit, I knew I could get Tank. I mean, that's what Rolly did. You know, he said, oh, I knew this nigga was scared of me. I got him. He's cornered. Bam, over. So what if he does that same thing to Shakur? Say, I'm not going to chase him. I'm going to see if I can get this guy to come on and beat me up like everybody says he can, which nobody says he can beat Tank up. They just said he's going to win that fight because Tank can't get him. Tank can't hit him. That's absurd, right? But I suggest to you that a guy who can get away or prevent or avoid from getting beat up still has work to do because he's got to do something beyond just not getting hit to win that fight over whoever he's fighting. And he's going to have to do some of that with Tank. And if he puts himself in that position, like he did with, what was that? Was it, who was that? Ramirez? No, it wasn't Ramirez. That was Zepeda, I think it was, right? He tried to fight Zepeda. You saw what happened. Think if that was Tank, right? And then last but not least, everybody that Shakur fought, everybody that Devin Haney has fought, everybody that Teo, all the guys, and let me just mention one more potential fight for Tank, just in terms of the, you know, the YouTube boxing world suggesting fights for Tank. Super Matias came in, and by the way, I said years and years ago, not years and years, but about 3 years ago, if not more, that Tank would knock Prograis out because let's remember, before Boots really got his, you know, his not accolades, but you know, got the word around town is that Boots is that nigga. But before that came into existence, Prograis, they were talking about Prograis. They were talking about Prograis is that man. Prograis is the, you know, I know he lost to the tall brother that you know, beat him or whatever, but they thought, I told him way back then, I said, I don't care what Prograis did, Tank will knock him out real quick. And you know, he never fought him, we'll never know, but I believe that. But anyway, getting back to what I'm saying, but Subriel Matias, dog, killer, all that shit, right? Well, Ponce beat his ass for the first 2 rounds, and Petro beat his ass too. Now, what do you think Tank is going to do with that nigga? So the whole point I'm trying to make is that these guys are only saying that, well, you know, Tank need to fight him. Tank need to fight him. And the only reason why I'm getting into the psychology of it is just because they know that Tank is almost and I'll step out on a limb and say it, unbeatable. But they just want to see his talent. What, like I'm saying, they want to see his talent, his art form of a display of skills, polished skills, proficient skills. They want to see him in the ring. And they put anybody in there with him to see it. I'm finished.
Salute to you, Victor.
I took a long time on that one. I appreciate you giving me all that answer.
It's all good. Salute to you, Felix Nunez. As some people came in the building. Salute to you, GD. What is good with you, sir? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. Talib Cunningham is in the building. What is good with you? Carolina in this bitch. William Old School is in the building. What's good with you? What's popping? Hope all is well with you, William. Hold up. I think it's Cousin Doom says it's not just about Tank though. We all, as a collective, said the three alleged kings of this generation boxing should fight each other. Tank won't fight anybody. Dev, the only one with all the belts. Oh, really? Ryan fought three of them. Ryan fought, well, not three of them, but Ryan fought Rolly, Tank, and Devin. I don't know when the last time you've been watching boxing, though, sir. No disrespect, but Devin don't have no belt right now. And he didn't get it from fighting any of the three kings. Just saying.
Bingo.
Won't be a running dog. Tank won't rematch Lamont, though. He don't need to. The rematch is only in the contract if Tank loses, and he didn't lose. So it all was a if Tank wants to when after that fight happened. But watching post press conferences is where a lot of people get their information, because you're supposed to listen to the fighters, not the fans. And the fans say whatever they want. And I understand Lamont said whatever he want, but it's not up to Lamont. Lamont holds no keys to anything. You understand? So after that fight, Tank said on the podium right after that in the post press conference after the fight, and after he fought Lamont Roach, he said he wanted to be next, but it's probably not going to be next. He already had a fight plugged in, and that fight was with Jake Paul. He never planned on fighting Lamont Roach. He planned on fighting about 5 other people. He had different people in line, different people names that he wanted to fight. The first one was Lomachenko, and he ended up retiring. Name after name said no or was busy. So he landed on Lamont Roach, but he already had the Jake Paul fight already ready to go. So he don't owe Lamont Roach a rematch. He definitely don't owe us shit when it comes to, like, Tank don't owe us a rematch with Lamont Roach. Like, he just doesn't owe him nothing. And because he's been a hoe for all of this time since after the fight, he's choosing not to fight him. So what?
Exactly. And you know what, Ashley? Let me just say this too, because look, I'm a Tank fan. You damn right I'm a Tank fan. You call it what you want. I don't know, give a damn what you call it. I'm a Tank fan, and I know what I'm looking at, and I know what I see, and I know this much, whether I'm a casual or not. Mine eyes have seen the glory. I know what I'm seeing. And I know when I see skill, and I know when I see polished skill, proficient skill, I know when I see a pure, unadulterated, all-around athlete. That's what Tank is. You know, Tank fights them fights to whatever round. It could be the 6th round. It could be the 8th, 9th, 11th round. One way or the other, when he finishes exerting himself in that ring like he does, especially that 75% of the motherfuckers he fights are big, so he's got to work. You know how they say about blacks, say whenever blacks want to exceed or move up the ladder, they got to work harder than the others. You know what I mean? That's what Tank has to do every time he fights. 9 times out of 10, because he's fighting somebody bigger than him. So he's really got to push himself and exert himself. And after all of that, 6, 8, 11 rounds, he still has the athleticism, the wherewithal to get up on them top 2 ropes, bounce off of them damn things like they're diving boards, and go 20, 25 feet up in the air and gracefully land that backflip. That's an athlete, ladies and gentlemen. So, but about Roach, look, I appreciate what Tank is giving to me as a boxing fan. In particular, like I said, the form and the art form of skill and talent. I appreciate what he's giving me. And he don't owe me anything too, let alone Roach. And I say, for me, I'm not gonna shackle Tank to that nigga. I'm not gonna shackle Tank to Roach. Like he's got to follow that nigga around for the rest of his motherfucking career to make niggas out here happy. Hey man, sit back and relax. Like I'm supposed to shackle Tank to Roach. Roach, what about Roach? What about Roach? What about that nigga?
Salute to Todd French in the super chat. Definitely appreciate you.
This is for the cool.
Say salute to you, man. It's a good discussion. We could discuss anything over here, bro. I'm all for the boxing talk. Whatever y'all want to talk about, we can chat on that shit. No bull. I'm here for it. Hold on, wait. I think I missed it. Salute to you, Dragon Assassin officials in the building. What is good with you, King? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. Yeah, I know Ron hasn't won anything cruising, but or is it Cousin Doom? Is it Cousin Doom? Cousin Doom? I know he hasn't won nothing, but I appreciate that he took the fights. Regardless if he lost or if he won, I appreciate it. He won 2 out of the 3. I mean, he lost 2 out of the 3, you know? But I appreciate that he took the fights. That's all I can ask for. You feel me? Somebody. I've been saying the same exact thing. As a fighter, Tank shouldn't be comfortable with a draw on his record. As much as Tank bragged about being the face of boxing, but hey, things change. He was at some point in time the face of boxing. Things has changed.
Yeah, but you know what, Ashley?
Anybody is for real.
Yeah, but you know what, Ashley? It ain't nothing. I mean, he could go back and prove to everybody that he can beat Roach. As far as I'm concerned, he beat Roach in the first fight by aggression, by targeting, hitting the target more so than Roach, and using more veracity and power in those punches. But the draw ain't going nowhere. If he goes back and he knocks Roach out, the draw's gonna still be there.
That's a fact.
So well, he ain't got, like you said, he ain't got nothing to prove.
Yeah. Salute to you, Todd French, back in the super chat. Definitely appreciate you.
This is for the cool.
He says, so what's with the list Tank mentioned? Are you talking about the 7-fight list? 7-fight? Because I missed a lot. I missed a lot that Tank has supposedly said in the last day or two. So if you're talking about the list that Tank mentioned for the 7-fight deal, I honestly feel that a few people that was on that list is not going to fight him. I think he already tried and it's not going to happen. So he probably abandoned it. But how do you abandon a contract that you already signed? So I have no idea. I honestly don't believe that he's going to retire in 8 weeks, though. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. If he does it, okay, cool. But I just honestly can't wrap my head around that at this moment. They forgot about that part. Also, didn't Tank say he wanted to be undisputed? What happened to that? People, I don't think people are going to fight him. He said he tried to fight Shakur, and Shakur wanted a multi-fight deal. PBC is the person in charge for that, not Tank. Unless he signed a GTD Promotions, Tank can't give Shakur a multi-fight deal. PBC said no to what Shakur wanted, and Tank's left out in the cold. And people are mad at Tank. Like, for real. What Shakur wants, Tank cannot grant. That is something that a network, PBC has to say yes. You feel me? Al Heyman has to say yes to what Shakur is demanding. Tank is out of Tank's fucking hands. How can Tank give him a multi-fight deal? How? People just don't want to believe the truth. Shakur admitted to it. Yeah, they said one fight. Yeah, I wanted to negotiate, and because I wanted a bigger deal. Like that rapper said, people say I'm tripping, but I need a better deal. Real shit. Like that's how Shakur was looking at it. How can y'all blame Tank for something that he cannot even supply Shakur? He can't give that shit to him. I can see if Shakur was like, nah, man, I need $15 million. All right, then you can say that's Tank's fault because he's not taking some part out of his check to give to Shakur, even though it's stupid, but it's out of his hands. He cannot give Shakur a multi-fight deal, period.
Hey, Ashley, and you know something else? Let me tell you this. Shakur turned down a fight with Tank. See?
Yeah.
Tank, the BBC said, no, we just want you over here to fight Tank. He turned that down. That would have been the biggest payday. And I'm telling you, and you would know it, if Shakur would have beat Tank, he would have been on top of the world right now. That wouldn't have necessarily thrown Tank out in the cold, but Shakur would be on top of the world right now. You understand what's at stake for Shakur, right? All
Anybody
right.
beat Tank, they're going to be on the top of the world.
There you go.
Anybody. If it was
look,
Rolly would have been on the top of the world. Ryan would have been on the top of the world. Them no names that nobody knew in the beginning, like that the dude Ruiz or whatever his name, he would have been on the top. Anybody would have been on the top of the world in the last freaking 7 years, 5 years for sure, fighting Gervonta Davis. But salute to Todd French back in the super chat. Definitely appreciate you in the super chat.
This is for the cool.
Hey, Ashley,
he can exert himself with a 190, but not a 140. Ha! He already fought a 140, Todd.
that
nigga trying to talk fire, shit. Yo. Like I legit know people that was hating on Tank for years, but when he fought, when it was said that he was going to fight Barrios, they was kind of taken back, didn't know what to think about it. But after that fight happened, bruh, they had to lay it down. They had to lay it down. I know a few different channels, bro. And then you can go back. You can go back and put in whatever the channel name is, put in their fight and put in fight reaction or whatever. And the whole hour live, or 3 hour, 4 hour live is going to show up. Look at their reactions. Even talking about all the Tank haters. Look at their reaction when he was fighting Barrios.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to their reaction when he was fighting Barrios. The truth comes out. Sometimes, you feel me? even Timothy Bradley. Timothy Bradley was hating on Tank like shit at that point in time. After that fight, he gave it up to the man, and then he remembered who he gets paid for. He went back to hating a few days after the fight. But every time Tank fights and have a good fight, Timothy Bradley always tells him, always gives the facts that shit was entertaining, that shit was fire, that shit was beautiful, that was this. Then he goes back to hating in a couple of days. But it's real talk. Like what he do is beautiful. You have to admit that. You have to. And the people that said that he don't know how to box, when he hurt his hand and he fought that somebody that's so aggressive like Pitbull Cruz, and people were saying that he was scared of him. The worst time to fight somebody is when you can't use one of your hands, bro.
That's right.
He fought him during, like, in that style. He had to change everything during the pain, bro. And like I said, it's people in this chat right now that can't stomp their toe and continue to walk and think straight and do what the fuck they was planning on to do. Y'all motherfuckers will stomp your toe or your shin and sit the fuck down. Like, what the hell was I just doing? What was I just doing? Like, so you can't fathom how it would feel if your hand really got hurt during a fight and you still had to fight for 6-8 rounds, bruh. You still had to fight, and the person was aggressive, mad aggressive. You thinking that you're in fight mode. You're gonna forget and throw your hand eventually. He was hurting the shit out of himself. They were saying in the corner, your hand. He was like, man, my hand hurt, and I think it was Barry Hunter or somebody.
Yeah,
man,
you're right.
Glasses. He was in the corner helping Coach Calvin, and he said, "Yo, your hand gonna hurt tomorrow. It's a fight right now." And I remember him going back and him thanking Barry for saying what he was saying. Now, fast forward a little bit. Rewind. Fast forward a little bit. What's his name? Podcast Porter. You remember Sean Porter and Tank sparred a little bit right before that fight. Do y'all remember that? They sparred a little bit right before Tank fought Isaac Cruz, right before Podcast Porter fought Terrence Crawford. They sparred each other, and his father said it. Yeah, Tank, he's cracking. because he just beat some respect out of Sean Porter's mouth. And I told y'all a year after that, he had shit to say bad about Gervonta Davis. And after that fight versus Pitbull Cruz, Shakur, what's his name? Podcast Porter said right up that joint at some point in time on his show after he retired. He sat up there and was like, look, I was in camp a little bit. I sparred him, yo. And let me tell you, yo, after watching that fight and knowing the injury that he had to his hand, I remember the injury I had to my hand when this is him talking about that dude, Adrian Granados, or I think that's what his name was, that Sean Porter fought and he hurt his hand. He said during that fight, he said, after I hurt my hand, he said, I did not want to fight. He said, I stuck my head out in between the ropes during the fight and looked over at my dad. My dad was like, what are you doing, fight? He was like, Sean said, I told him, no, my hand. He said, so for the fact that Tank continued to fight like that just shows, and it told me something about him. Those was Sean Porter's words. Okay, so it's a lot of shit that people can say about Tank, but I know different. You can't, it is what it is, bro. I know different.
Absolutely.
That man is the truth, for real.
For real. There it is right there. He's the truth. And by the way, finishing up on Shakur, by the way, and don't forget, here's what I was saying. Shakur, that's a big opportunity to fight Tank. And he turned it down because he wanted to fight two other guys. Who were they going to be? Do you know? Did you care? You didn't. All you did was use that as a shield to avoid fighting Tank. And then Devin Haney offered Shakur a fight. And guess what was on the line with that one? Now, if Shakur really wanted to be this or that, or have them belts or those titles, that was the time. And that nigga went somewhere else and said, no, I want some more money. And you see, this is what I'm talking about, the language people use, what I was saying earlier about that hardcore and casual shit. The language is, that was what do they call that kind of an offer? A duck offer. Nigga, he didn't just offer you, if you consider the money he offered you, duck money, but them belts wasn't. Them belts got their own rating, their own status. So you can't say, well, he only had that belt, this belt. No, those were championship belts that would have brought you, or once again, like I said about Tank, that would have elevated. If you'd have beat Haney and took those belts from you, you wouldn't be where you are today. But he turned it down. And that money shit, that was, I believe, now we talk about theory, not theories, but speculations or whatever. So it's only my opinion is that what Shakur did with the offer from Tank and the offer from Haney, to me, he ducked because he turned down too much value. If it wasn't no value in it, and if he just fighting another, then I could understand it. But there was too much value in both those opportunities for you to turn it down. The only reason you could have turned something of that value down is because you're scared of the niggas behind it. Period.
Salute to Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. What is popping with you? What's good with you, young man? Definitely appreciate you for coming through. Tar French back in the super chat.
This is for the cool.
Tell me you can. I want to see it too. For sure. I want to see it too. But I can tell you, man. I just watch boxing to be entertained. I never got a channel and was thinking that I needed to talk about how sorry fighters are acting or how this and how. I never got on here to talk bad about boxing. You feel me? Like, that was never my initial intention. I never made a boxing channel to sit here and talk bad about boxing. I wanted to make a boxing channel because I like boxing. I wanted to box as a professional, as a career. I wanted to. So I think about it a lot. I watch it a lot. I know a lot about it. And it's fun to me. People want to take fun out of talking about boxing. Like, I found that out after like a year of being on YouTube. Like, it's really that's what it is. Like, people want to take the fun out of it. Like, bro, it's a sport, so it should be fun to talk about. It shouldn't be a lot of people being pissed off and angry about a lot of fights not happening. You understand? And when I originally started watching boxing, I never watched what people did out the ring. It didn't concern me. But now that I'm talking about boxing, I see how people are in and out the ring. It still don't stop me from liking what they do in the ring. That's how I know that I'm a true fan of the sport. A lot of people will allow something that's being done outside or said outside to not like what somebody's doing in the ring. Those are two different things. I don't like a lot of fighters, but I can't say that I don't like what they're doing in the ring. I don't like a lot of artists, but I can't say that she can't sing. You feel me? I don't like a lot of R&B. I don't like people. But I can't say that they're not good at what they do. You feel what I'm saying? Like people really take things to extreme. You understand? Just like content creators, it might be something that I disagree fully. I can't believe you said it out your mouth, bruh. We would argue if I was standing in front of you. But it ain't that serious, bruh. I'll be back. I'll be back. I see you tomorrow. The next time you on this joint, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to hear it right now. You feel me? Like people need to stop taking things so fucking serious. This is boxing, and when it comes to something that people get millions of dollars in, they're not going to do things that you want to do. They're going to do things that's right for their bank account.
And that's something that really, that is a critical point, because a lot of these hardcore boxers, so to speak, hardcore fans, all of them have different perspectives, or should I say, they want some fighter to fight this fighter, but then here comes another supposed hardcore boxing fan. He wants him to fight somebody else, and I'm thinking to myself, if you guys are peers, tied at the hip, you both live under the same label. Hold on.
Absolutely, Jackson.
And if you guys are one of the same hardcore, how do you end up wanting the fighter you want to fight somebody different? Shouldn't you be in agreement? Shouldn't it really be instinctive for you, so-called, or you're like me, we're one of the same, we're hardcores? Well, shouldn't the fighter that you selected to fight, be fighting the same fighter that the both of you, or that all of you hardcores selected to fight? How come all of you got this nigga fight that nigga and this nigga and that nigga and that nigga over there? It doesn't sound like unity to me. So that hardcore, we're hardcores and you just casuals. You're not hardcores. You're just all over the place.
Hardcores and casuals, that's just something that a lot of people say, because a lot of casual fans don't put enough time in the sport to know what's a lie and what's not, because there's a lot of fraudulent channels out here, and it's a lot of lying going on. So if you're not watching this shit all the time or every day, you can be lied to. But if you can be a casual and have 1, 2, 3 channels you go to that spitting nothing but facts and not being biased, and you can stay up with the sport like you're not a casual fan. But
right,
in my opinion, you like a diehard fan. A lot of diehard fans, man, in boxing had something to do with the sport. They was probably a coach at some point in time. They got a child in the sport. They used to box. They trained a little bit. Like, in my opinion, if you didn't do nothing but sit and watch the sport, you ain't never put on a pair of gloves ever. You never wrapped your hands ever. I don't know how hardcore you are, my guy. Like, you can sit and watch that shit, or you can sit and watch that shit since you was 2. Like, what exactly does that mean?
Yeah. And then the eye is not very boxing keen. The eye is not very boxing keen either, because you're watching something and you don't even know what's happening in front of you. Some of the shit that Tank does, for example, and others, I know I talk a lot about Tank, but he's my number one. I think he is the number one. But some of the shit the Tank does in the ring, unless you got a keen eye for it, like I said, polished skill, expertise type stuff, you don't even see what's happening in front of you. You don't even know what's happening. And that's why they end up saying, yeah, well, everybody likes those Tank maniacs. They like Tank just because he knocks. It ain't just because he knocks people out. What's the matter with you? What about all that other stuff he does in the ring? So, yeah.
Especially that's where the sweet science comes in at. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people won't respect, what's being done on the ring if somebody don't visibly get wobbled, stopped, or dropped. Like that's the bottom line of what casuals is, because they think fights is this and that. If they don't see this or that, they don't see XYZ, and that's really not truth about boxing. So that's why people say that. People be like, you're a casual, or it's just some way to say that you don't know as much as I do. But literally, literally how truth is that. I mean, like, bro, I could sit and watch somebody do something all my life. That doesn't mean I know more than the next person. Doesn't mean shit. For real, for real.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So whenever I'm talking boxing, I always tell them, if you want to you know what I mean, chop it up with me about boxing or boxers, we gonna keep it in the ring. I'm not gonna throw paper back and forth with you, you know what I mean? Well, according to the statistic, I'm not gonna throw trinkets back and forth. Trinkets, belts, paperwork, all that shit. All that is promotional gadgets, gimmicks to make you think somebody is what those belts and those titles and all those paperwork, statistics, and spreadsheets mean, to lure you in, to pull you in, to want to see them fight because they got this, they did that, they on they're pound for pound and all that. No, I'll catch them eventually, and if I see what I think is a good fighter, then he's got me, right? But because you come over here and start talking to me about belts and this and that, and even beating other motherfuckers up, like I said about Haney being that guy because he beat Kambosos, you ain't got me yet. I've seen Kambosos, all right, and I know. Well, anyway, you get my point.
William Old School, I got you. William Old School said the reason I became a Tank fan was because of his skills, not his KOs. That's what's up. I liked it all. I liked how he threw his punches. I liked his defense. I liked the fact that it looked like he didn't give a damn what type of punches that was coming at. It looked like he didn't care. It looked like he was very comfortable in the ring, and he had power. He looked like he was making his opponents nervous in the ring. It looked like they didn't want to get hit by Cuz, but they didn't have no choice. He had hand speed. He had footwork. That man had the total package when I seen his ass, for real. In my opinion, Tank is one of the he has the toolbox. He has everything.
Everything.
Not a few fighters have everything. The man has everything. And
yes.
then not everybody do use all their tools at once. Of course, nobody really do that, but I think Tank is one of those that got it all. He got everything.
Absolutely. Hey, Ashley, and this is another thing about Tank.
Jose Diaz, what's popping with you, Jose? My bad.
No, you good. And another thing, Ashley, nobody ever mentions this. I don't hear people mention this a lot, and it should be noted, to say the least. Tank has a chin, dear.
Yeah.
Tank has a chin because Tank has gotten clocked where I swear to God, and this is just my imagination or my opinion, but if somebody else, like look, damn, I keep forgetting the guy's name that Shakur fought, but when he hit him with that jab and Korner, yes, when he hit him with that jab, if them ropes wouldn't have been there, he might have went down, right?
Yeah.
So that means that he is vulnerable to getting hit solid and flush. Now, Tank got hit by, and the announcer said it when he won this fight, said, and one thing about Tank, he moved up to a heavier weight and he brought his power with him, and he was able to sustain being hit by a true 140 pounder. Mario Barrios hit Tank on the button. You, being a boxing expert, as far as I'm concerned, know what the button is. There's a difference between the jaw, the chin, and that button. That button is, well, no, that's what the button is. The chin. You hit somebody on the chin, it'll snap their head. You could break their jaw like that. But if you hit them solid flush on the side of the face, on the whole entire jaw, oh, you can knock them down or whatever. Mario Barrios hit Tank with both of those punches. Flush, left hook on the whole entire side of his face. And Tank rolled with that. And it pushed him back, you could tell, because he bounced off the ropes a little. But on the opposite side of the ring, I might have said this on your channel, so I hate to be repetitive and redundant. But on the other side of that ring, from where that happened, Mario Barrios hit him with the same combination, but that left hook was a desperate left hook because he had Mario up against them ropes, and he hit him right on the button. And I swear to God, Tank walked through that as if it didn't happen. As if it didn't happen. Secondly, Gamboa caught Bud with a left and then bam with that right. And Bud looked like he had, you know what I mean, stork legs running behind him. Because that nigga got so awkward and so off balance, he was trying to back up, but his legs were so far behind him and the top of his body was hanging over his leg. That lets you know that that punch rocked him. That same nigga, Gamboa, he'd take 3 solid punches, 3 in a row. Bam, bam, bam. And Tank didn't move. He rolled with him. He's got a chin. That's something people don't speak about Tank. And that's why I say Tank is unbeatable, because he can hurt you. He can knock you out. He can knock you down. He can require the referee to stand in and rescue you, but you can't stop him. He has an anvil chin.
I'm not gonna address this dude unless he's still in here. City Mate, are you still in the chat? Salute to you, Ja. What is good with you? City Mate, if you still in the chat, say something. Okay. All right. Because these guys right here just wanna stop your conversation. They're not in your chat. They just say something stupid and then they leave. So if he's not here, I'm not even gonna address the shit. Which I thought. Exactly. Salute to you, Ja. These guys just want to stop you from talking about what you're talking about, and so you can talk about what they want to talk. Nah, we're not doing that. And I might have if you would have asked nicely, but no, not doing that. We're not playing those games. It is one more topic I did want to talk about though. Tank made him collapse. Yeah, I seen that. Yeah, they do. That lady. Yeah, you get away from what lady? Tank need to get away from that lady. I don't know what lady you're talking about, pimping. Salute to you, Ja. What's good with you? You on mute if you're talking.
What's good with you? Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Alright, my Bluetooth was messing up. No, I wanted to hop on here. Who that OG that was cooking for real? He was killing it.
Victor, what's good?
Yeah, Victor. I like his style for real. Well,
Oh, thank you.
I was gonna say like Shakur and them, they even though like they do all these like games on Twitter and stuff like that, and, like kind of defaming each other. Like they gotta worry about when they done boxing and they look at like if you look at the fighters after they done like they full pro career like Floyd and just people you'll watch their fights back. You gonna watch their fights and you gonna be entertained by that. And that's how it's gonna be for Tank. Like after he retire and people watch his fights, they gonna be like, damn.
Yeah.
Like that was entertaining. Like that one fight where he kept uppercutting that dude, and the ref had to stop it. Like,
Yeah.
and he was young when he did that. That's the
Levi,
type of fighter.
a Val or a Veil or whatever his name was. I know. I remember you talking
Avila,
about.
Avila,
That
He
that's why
he
people
cut the
really
dude
like him.
face with a jab. I remember that. Right.
Avila.
He
Yeah.
been
That's
taking chances like that since he was when he was young. When he fought Pedraza and all of that, he was young. Like when people watch Shakur fights back or
I got
Devin or
you over there.
somebody, they
Yeah.
gonna be like yeah, that was boring. Like, and I like them. I don't think they boring. But if you looking, if a fan just want to see somebody and watch him back, all the criticisms they say about Shakur right now while he fighting, and you look back at your boxing career on video, they're gonna be able to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it really just seemed like they just trying to rob the bank at this point. Like, just
Shoot to
hype up a
entertain.
fight. They could probably fight more than once a year. It ain't about no health risk for somebody like Shakur.
Yeah.
Like, he could fight 3 times a year and don't even get no injuries. Like, but
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to see them fight. I just wanted to say that about the, like, when you look at back at their full pro career, it's gonna be the same thing. Like, well, that wasn't really entertaining. They just gonna look at Shakur for specific moves, like that step back. That's probably what they gonna do.
Mhm.
More than likely, is just look at him for that type of stuff. But like Tank, they gonna look at him as a complete fighter, an entertainer, and everything like that. Cause that's some of the stuff they don't talk about even when you talk about boxing, and they want to compare fighters and say who will win. Like part of the boxer's job is to entertain, and people don't really give them enough credit for doing that. Like if you're not entertaining, it don't really matter how good you is with your skills and all of that.
Yeah.
Like the promoters and stuff ain't gonna want to put you on a fight card. Like you gotta please the crowd and stuff. And that's what it be mainly about when, like, if they saying like Shakur versus Tank, he going to outbox him. Like, then you put all the pressure on Tank to make the fight and to make it an interesting fight to watch. Like if Shakur can just get a out where basically they giving them a pass, anybody they saying could beat Tank, they giving them a pass that they could run the whole fight and not even be entertaining. Just
Mm.
leave it up to Tank to be entertaining. But I just
Yep,
wanted to hop on there and just say that, like, from that perspective, just watching you on the playback, like, how many highlights you got?
yep. And that's funny that he said that, Ashley, because you know what? When I go back and watch Tank's fights, reruns, every time I go back, the amount of views has increased. Tank on a variety of his fights have over 12 million views.
Yeah. All his fights got millions of views. It's not one of
Yeah,
them. Unless they just posted it, all of them got
yeah,
millions of views.
yeah. And so what the guy is saying is true, is that you might have somebody go to somebody's house and say, "Hey, what's up?" And say, "Hey, nothing." Say, "I tell you what, let's get a couple beers and let the gang sit around. Let's watch a couple fights." And somebody in that group might not know Tank, and they'll say, "Hey, watch this nigga. This nigga can fight. Watch this." It'll be a rerun. From that point on, they'll be, damn, boy, he's literally, and then they'll give him some of the statistics like he's 5'5", he got a short reach and all that. They'll say, "You kidding me? That little boy can fight." Bingo, you got another fan. And the next time Tank get ready to fight, here he comes, or here they come. You see what I mean? So the brother's right. If people who don't really go and follow fights and keep up with the dates that fights are going to take place, whatever, they get enticed or asked to go back and watch a rerun, and then you see Tank. And 9 times out of 10, when somebody says, let's sit back and watch a couple fights, you more than likely it's going to be a Tank fight because they're going to want to let these guys know, I asked you to let's sit back, drink a couple beers, and watch a fight. I'm not going to put a silly fight or a boring fight. I'm going to put something up that's going to make you guys appreciate me. You know,
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. And then I don't know. Ant was talking to me in the chat. He said, "What do you equate to like be entertaining?" I'm just speaking kind of from like a pro athlete perspective, not like necessarily pro athlete, but athlete in general. Like in any other sport, you gonna want to see your highlights. Like, what's the point of playing that sport? Like, and it ain't just about the money. It to everybody be saying it be more just about the money to Tank than the other fighters, but it seemed like he cared more about his highlights than they care. Like, which should tell me if a fighter really love boxing. Like, I ain't just gonna settle for a win. Like, I want to see some of my highlights back. Like, I got one professional fight and I lost that fight, and I go back and watch my fight because I got knocked down in the fight. Like that's my favorite part. It's just watching the highlights that I did once I'm not really boxing no more. So I'm just saying, like, if you love the sport of boxing, like, come on, get your highlights up. Don't you want to have like be like if they was to beat Tank, it ain't no meme about it other than like Lamont Roach took a draw to Tank, and it's like they giving him all this credit. But like, imagine if he got like a real highlight though. Imagine how much credit you would get for that, or just being able to watch that. Like if Shakur retire and he sit down and he want to watch some fights, he probably gonna watch other people fights instead of his. Cause once he start watching his fights, he gonna be like, "Damn, I could have did more right there." Like he seemed like the type of person to be like, "I could have did more." So that
Yeah,
shit
that's
was
true.
boring to me.
That's true. That's true.
Like Zepeda, he could have did more with y'all. His hand was probably
You
still hurting
funny
or
as
something.
hell.
But like he could have stopped Zepeda. He could have did any. He could have spinned around and then caught him with a hook or something. Like that's how much levels above Zepeda I feel like he is. And then that would have went to the highlight reel. That would have probably been on ESPN everywhere. Like
Yeah. I feel what you're saying though. There wasn't really no highlight for, for him for real in the fight. But salute to you, William Old School is in the building, yo. What you got for us, yo?
Hey, beautiful. What's up?
I'm
Look,
chilling. What's good
old
with you?
school, man.
look. They always say whenever Tank's brought up, oh, why ain't he fighting Shakur? Why ain't he fighting Devin? Why ain't he fighting this one or that one or that? Bro, can we get for real for a second? I've been saying since the Ryan fight. Ryan laid the damn blueprint to get the Tank fight. He stayed on Tank's ass till he got the fight. I mean, he went above and beyond to get the fight. What happened? Does anybody remember what happened right around the time Devin fought Regis? We had that thing come out where Steven Espinoza said he tried to talk to Bill into making the fight. Bill said, "Oh, we're going in a different direction now."
Yep.
Then Shakur, what happens with him? Steven Espinoza talks to Shakur's team. What did he get told? Oh, we won a 3-fight deal, basically putting up a freaking roadblock.
Yep.
What happened with Loma? They had a deal worked out. Loma
Yep.
walked away from it.
Yep.
Nobody can say that this guy ain't tried to make the fight. Where can you show me where they tried to make the fight? Seriously,
They just
how
talk.
many of them went and did what Ryan Garcia did to try and get that Tank money?
Absolutely.
You cannot show it to me because it didn't happen. Look, Tank, I've been saying it. That's the reason. When I saw Tank box, not just the knockouts, Tank can box his asshole. He's got foot movement. He knows what he's doing in the ring. I used to call the old timers poetry in motion, like Sweet Pea, Floyd, Ali, all of them, poetry in motion.
There
Only
you
one,
go.
there's only a couple of guys, very couple of guys in this generation of boxing that I can say even compares a little bit to that. One of them's Tank.
Yep. Hey, I'm with you, brother, on that one, because I go back a ways too. And I remember when it was what did you just say? What was that?
About who?
Well, you just said that that terminology they used back in the day when
Poetry in
guys
motion.
poetry in motion. There you go. See, yeah, that I go back. I go back. I'm 74 years old, brother. I remember that. And by the way, you know what? They used another terminology too to describe certain people. They said a darling star. They didn't leave it at, oh no, he's a star. They said no, he's a darling star, and that
I've
meant,
heard that.
you know,
But yeah, dude. I mean, look, these dudes literally ran this kid out of boxing. I hope to God he changes his mind and comes back, but I won't be surprised if he don't. How often do you sit there, keep knocking people out, knocking people out, knocking people out? You don't get your flowers.
yeah,
All they do is insult this kid. They look for any goddamn reason to put him down. It's like the shit with his baby mama that wound up being false. Yet Devin beats up on a pregnant woman, and they not a one of them said a goddamn word about it. Explain that shit to me. Where were they when that shit happened? When did they tell that? I before I knew the truth, I was on Tank's ass about it because I got daughters. God damn, you put your hands on my daughters, I'm putting you in the hospital, if not worse. But it came out, the shit was false. That fucking chick set him up. But then comes Devin. Devin literally puts his hands on this pregnant old lady, and you don't hear one person that was talking all that crap about Tank say one blessed thing about Devin doing it.
That's crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Because it's selective hate. The thing
Yeah,
with
bro.
the knockouts,
Biggest
the thing with
hypocrite
the
in
knockouts,
boxing.
Tank is so small. Like I could, if he was Devin size or Shakur size, it wouldn't even. It's in my opinion, his size makes everything he does in the ring just that much more entertaining.
absolutely.
I'm sorry, like it's like I'm watching David and Goliath, not literally, but come on, bro.
Hey,
Like
hey,
you
hey,
Exactly.
I respect that, and you see him get in the fight just like Isaac Cruz. They get in there without fear, and they go for the knockout, and they try to hurt their opponent. They don't look like they're scared to get hit and not fight cautious. I can respect that, bro. Like that's
absolutely.
the same type of respect that I had for what's the dude name that I always said that he had? Derevchenko. Derevchenko got the same arm reach as Gervonta Davis. He's just a little taller, and he fight at them high weight classes. Gave Jamal Charlo a good fight. Gave Hyman McGill a good fight. But he's like it's more to say. And it's more to be done in the ring when you're that size. You have to I said this before, when somebody go to Tank's body, for him to move, he got to move his whole body, like both of his feet. If you're a tall fighter, you really need to move 1 foot. You feel me? It all depends on, you know what I'm saying? It all depends on the style of fighting and where you at in your stance. He got to do more to be defensively sound than somebody taller and somebody with a longer reach. He has to do more to actually get his punches off and get a flush punch. And I know that. So I respect it. Yeah, at McQueen, Triple G, and Billy. Yeah, like this is you got to do more. If you that size, you got to do more defensively to be defensively sound. You have to do more movement. You have to use more energy. You got to be smarter. You got to be quicker. Like I got to show respect to that. I got to respect it because it's very, very entertaining to me. So, and along with the stuff outside of the ring, Will Moscow, I'm gonna let you finish because you cooking. The stuff outside of the ring, man, I honestly, all the men that was talking bad about Tank the first time around, not the second, the first time around where he actually got arrested and then got out the next day because she told the truth and said that she wasn't telling the truth. Those men know somebody, or they know deep down if that shit happened to them, they would want to put hands on her for real after getting out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying they would do it, but they will be that mad. They will be that hurt. They would really. It's like, especially if say certain people of your family got on you a little bit, and then they came out that it was false. And you looking at your family members like, bro, you really think that I would hit my own child? That I would hit my, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now, y'all really. A lot of people really don't know what Tank is really going through. Y'all don't know. You don't know. Like, y'all haven't been accused twice by your baby mother.
Yeah.
You don't know. Like, for real. Like, so I agree with everything you're saying. Go ahead. Salute to Marquise in the building. What is popping with you?
They always try and dog out on Tank's opponents. Yet you look at Barrios. They said, oh, Barrios had a trinket title when Tank fought him. What fucking title does Barrios hold now? Well,
Yep.
he holds the real title at 147.
Yes, sir.
They tried to dog out Leo Santa Cruz, who was actually taller than Tank. How many division champion was Leo Santa Cruz? Wasn't it 4?
Yep.
You know? So he's cherry picking? Really? Let's be honest. Tank should be fighting at 130 with his size.
Yeah.
He really shouldn't be at 135, but he is fighting at 135 because it makes the weight easy on him. He can summon up his power at 135 by having a little bit of extra weight.
Yep.
You know?
Yes.
But he has beat whoever they have put in front of him.
Yes.
Now, yeah, I think he took Roach a little light. I don't think he was prepared for Roach. And Roach knew it. Roach was saying it before the fight even happened, that he knew Tank wasn't locked in. If they would have run it back, I do believe he puts Roach on the canvas.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
You know? I think he very underestimated Roach. And then Roach opening his big mouth saying all that shit after the fight, I guarantee you Tank would have got some redemption for that one.
Yeah.
But look, they could say all they want. Now Shakur lost his big money fight. Devin, if he had a chance at it and could have made the weight, lost his big money fight. Theo lost his big money fight. So all of them can sit there and kick fucking rocks. All right, Ash, that's all I got to say.
Salute, William.
Salute to you, William.
Peace out, y'all.
Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace. Now Tank about to fight one of the best heavyweights in the game right now, in Jake Paul. And now y'all mad? Come on, man. What more could you ask for somebody like you was talking about Tank height? What more could you ask for? This is entertaining. And I remember when Shaq fought Oscar. Nobody was complaining about that.
Oh.
I imagine if Shaq would have been a heavyweight boxer or somebody like from the NBA being a heavyweight boxer, then we had a legitimate heavyweight to say like is the best heavyweight to compare with Ali or somebody like that, rather than who we got now like Usyk or somebody. I feel like he overrated because his biggest opponent is a washed up Tyson Fury that Deontay Wilder had to bring out of retirement. But they want to give him the credit. They want to say he better than Ali or he would have beat like them old school heavyweights. I don't believe it. The biggest opponent you beat is Tyson Fury, who would have got spanked by all of them. When he was in his prime era, he wasn't even a top. To me, he wasn't a top heavyweight in his era, which is like around where Lennox Lewis and them was still fighting.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley, salute, sister.
Salute.
I'm getting ready to dip out. Stay you, be you. You hear me?
Definitely appreciate you for coming through and hitting that link.
Absolutely. Salute, y'all.
Salute. I'm out of here too, though. Peace and blessings.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciate you. Well, there's only one more topic that I had, one more thing I wanted to say, and it was about Jerron Boots, and it's the man that's very big on the screen right there. Now that Boots is moving up to 154 pounds, he is promising a knockout versus the guy Liam or Liam, whatever that he's about to fight. Will it mean anything? That's what I wanted to ask. Will it mean anything if he doesn't even hurt his opponent? Now, I remember people saying that when Bud moved up and fought that dude, it really didn't hurt him at 154. So being that Boots is he's a knockout artist, he gets a lot of knockouts. Haven't really been getting them lately. Versus Karen, he's 0-2 versus Karen when it comes to the knockouts. Both of those fights went to the decision. but he knocks down his opponents for the most part, and he's flashy. He's very entertaining. So at 154 pounds, if he does not hurt his opponent, I think it means a lot if he doesn't hurt his opponent, because I did see a little bit of the guy's work, and he's just like somebody he's already fight, kind of like a Castile Clayton. But you didn't even see how that fight happened. That fight, was stopped in the first round, but you didn't even see how it played out. But I don't think that this guy is the type of caliber that is better than any fighters he's already fought. You feel me? It's just a higher weight class. And I would call this fight a tune-up for real, the guy that he's about to fight. But yeah, I think him saying that he's gonna promise a KO and promise something spectacular, now he got to show it to me. Like I'm not gonna be upset if he don't get the knockout, but he got to visibly hurt his opponent, a wobbly leg or something, bro. Even if you don't drop him, I'm not gonna be upset. But Boots' future, in my opinion, at 154 is going to be good if he can hurt these opponents at 154. He's going to have to put some thumpers on these opponents at 154. If he can hurt this guy, if he can stop him or hurt the people at 154, I see him getting big. 154 looking up. I'm telling you, like this, he can be a true contender at 154 pounds with the guys that's there. And I'm definitely here for it. Definitely here for it. I'm finna get on up out of here. Usyk wouldn't even be a heavyweight in 1970s. Nah, because he's too light. Tank is about to get paid. Why do you fight? To make money? That's facts. Boost speed and power is crazy right now. Salute to you, Ill Will 85. I'm finna go get on up out of here. But I think Boots is gonna do great at 154. I really do. We haven't seen him up there and do nothing yet. I thought he was a huge welterweight height and size. Like he's just gonna get bigger and bigger the more he go up for real. Like I think he's 5'10", a little taller than Bud. Ooh, my computer's dying. I'm finna get on up out of here anyway. He ain't drained no more. Well, if that's the case, then what I'm saying should happen. If he should hurt Cuz in this fight. You know what I mean? Like this is gonna be a tall tale sign of what's to come in his future at 154 pounds, in my opinion. Boots versus Jamel. Yeah, it's a great fight. I think Boots versus damn near everybody at 154 as far as the top 10, top 5. That shit is gonna be fire. You're going to see some shit. Oh, yeah, I am going to watch. I'm not going to miss it. Definitely not going to miss it. Salute to you. Salute to everybody that came through. Everybody that's going to hit the everybody that hit the link. Dude is a marksman. Oh, for real? Oh, he got it as his thumbnail. But that's the guy, Lima. I don't really know how to pronounce his last name. But that's the guy he's fighting. And I believe that fight's coming up in a week or two, couple weeks, right? But salute to everybody that came in the building. I'm finna watch some football, eat something, and take a nap. No bull. Salute to everybody that came in the building. Thank you. I definitely appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that came in the building, everybody that hit the like button. Please hit that like button. Share the channel. Sub to the channel if you haven't did that already. Everybody that's watching this playback, don't forget to hit that like button. You hear me? Salute to everybody that gave to the channel and super chatted to the channel. Definitely appreciate you, the love. I appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings to everybody that's in the chat, yo. I see y'all next Saturday, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm working on fine. Penny X.